and how confidently Fnatic played that. Maybe a Lulu ban, there's an Orianna ban come back up there against Peke.
I did just notice as well, you know, the last 2 games, we've had confident banter back and forward in the game client, talking about, you know, back and forth with each other. Nothing this time. Super serious, straight game on, instant lock. This time, a cog more for Reckless. They're taking it away from Tams at last.
Okay, so Kassadin is still open. This time around, Fnatic didn't want to first pick it because Tristana is open. It would have been double AD carry for Alliance again against the Kassadin. So let's see if Alliance wants to play it and if they actually want to early pick it. I mean, they can take Tristana and Kassadin if they want to. Lee Sin is banned away again. Shooking over Kha'Zix worked out great for him in the early game. In the last game here. They've been actually just waiting for Fnatic also to pick their support, and then Nif would counter it with whatever he had ready. If it's Nami, went to Braum. Let's see what Alliance wants to do. Doesn't seem like there's a Kassadin yet.
Not yet, but must be playing on their mind, so they leave it open to bait Fnatic into that one, and it looks like they will because they've locked in the cow and they've locked in Nami as well. So going for the support, and Wicked will take the cow again in the top lane.
Yeah, and they're not really showing anything at this point here. I mean, yeah, sure, you're picked 2 very strong team fighting champs, but we see Nami all the time. Question is if Yellowstar actually does play Braum, or if he's gonna go for Morgana into it or Thresh into it. Zillion support was what he played in game 1, and it seems like he doesn't actually play Braum. So it's gonna be hard for Yellowstar in the laning phase, as Nami is a lane counter to Morgana because you can break the Black Shield with your W, which is what you're maxing, and then you can then land the bombs, and you will also out-sustain her very easily. But let's see what Alliance wants to pick.
Yeah, will they leave that Kassadin? Will it just go unchecked the whole way through? Or will they take it? Tams found the random key, he's clicking away. Discussions now between the two. Froggen still not got his hand on that board. Of course, Twitch has been very successful. Every time he's played, he's worked wonders.
Yeah.
A little stealth bomber maybe. Will he be paired with something?
And Alliance can still just pick 1 AD carry now, and then lock in the jungler and save a potential second AD carry. But if they do want to play double AD carry and punish a potential Kassadin, they should lock in Tristana here, not the Twitch, and save that one for the last pick. So I don't actually expect him to do the double AD carry comp this time around. Also because they don't have Braum, they have Nami, as the support not able to do, or not able to be the same kind of tank as Braum can be.
Fnatic themselves also not revealed too much until these final 2 pickups. Still looking for a top laner and a mid laner. So Soaz knows he's going to be up against Alistar in that top lane if they want to keep these lanes in 2 versus 2. Lulu for him last game was the best that we've seen him play so far in this best of 5 by a country mile. So that may still be on the table, especially when you've got the Cogmore in there who you are going to want to protect later on.
Yeah, could definitely be an option also against Alistar. It's a lane where Lulu is going to win and can keep pushing it down. Life against the Maokai, take the tower once again in a one-on-one. Because Twitch was locked in by Alliance, they lost some of the laning power they could have had with the Nami pickup. So it's not like Alliance has an insanely strong lane, bottom lane due to the Twitch. So we can see just standard lanes. Again, Fnatic, good lanes, especially the solo lane, as Lulu top lane, one-on-one against Alistar is going to win it and will be able to take the tower, even without any help from Zionide.
Well, with the shield from Lulu and the black shield from Morgana, Kassadin is a risky option, but you've got the double resets as well, because the Kha'Zix in there, well, you don't need to get a reset on. I guess it's effectively a reset of the ultimate, just zipping in and out. Yeah, a couple of seconds.
Imagine if it did with resets.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
It's broken enough already. Oh, well, I don't know. There's counters to it. It's not gone so well so far. Final choice. What is it going to be?
Well, definitely Froggen here thinking about it. He could go Xerath if he wants to have some long-range poke against this one, because there's so much kite from Fnatic's side. This is going to be hard for him to actually get in and kill Reckless here. So thank you very much, Froggen. I'm glad we think alike. That's the thing about Danish people. We all think the same, man. Every single time.
Just that no one else can understand it.
Are we actually going to talk about the language again? Of the
No.
We have all agreed. It is the most beautiful language in the world. It is special, but it's beautiful. Anyway, Fnatic's comp, same deal pretty much as the last game. We are going to look to kite. We're going to look to peel for AD carry. We don't have any real engage. We have to land a Cocoon or Morgana. Throw in the Morgana here. We have to land a Binding or the Cocoon to really start the fight. So unless you want to speed up someone from Source here. Otherwise, it's going to be all about Alliance with the engage, and that's why Froggen in the very last pick here goes for the Xerath, because now he has the long-range poke, and he doesn't necessarily need to just engage in a straight-up fight.
Yeah, a lot of control coming out of Fnatic's team comp, that's for sure. Will it work? That's the question. Will we see Game 5? Game 4 will be getting underway in just a moment. Fnatic, a lot of pressure on this game. I mean, last game was immense for them, that's for sure. When the team fights, when the skirmishes were happening, going back and forth, could have tilted the other way, but instead, they came out on top. Now, momentum. Everybody talks about it. Is it a real thing?
I believe it is a real thing. I actually think that this game, it doesn't affect it too much. I think Game 5 is where, you know, the 2 games for Alliance, then 2 for Fnatic. I actually think that's where it really is strong, because Alliance are like, oh my god, we won 2 games at the start. We were fountain diving with 5 men by the end of game number 2, and now we're into a 5th and final game. I think this one is a lot more neutral, you know, kind of reset, if you like. But still, Fnatic have found the confidence of, okay, we've beaten them now once. We know that we can beat them. We're not going to get 3-0'd. This is their time to shine and give us a Game 5.
Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 4 getting underway. Fnatic, the defending champions of the European LCS. Can they hold strong and take it to a Game 5? Or will Alliance become the new kings of Europe and close out the crown and the #1 seed at the World Championships for Europe?
So again here, look for Alliance to get some deep wards in the jungle of Fnatic and try and go for the lane swap. Twitch is going to lose the lane straight up against Reckless here, or Taps is going to lose the lane straight up against Reckless, but once you get played doing King on your Twitch here, you can really start sneaking around here. You can get some kills on Reckless, shut him down. It's what Twitch can always do in the mid game. One of the reasons some teams like to pick him against these hyper carries, because he can punish them in the mid game. And you do see also Fnatic, they're expecting their invade, 5-man invade from Alliance onto their own blue buff to get the deep ward, so they're just standing there waiting for him. It's not going to happen. Alliance instead actually just placed very defensive wards, and everyone is sitting ready and waiting.
Be a dangerous level 1 as well, with the possibility of cocoons and binding slow out of Soaz, and other side you've got an Alistar in there who's always could be a pain if you can land your pulverize. Obviously Bubbles could be leveled up first out of Nif, and stuns from Froggen, so could be a messy level 1 if that were to all go down, but as it looks, we are going to be seeing pretty standard quiet start here with a 2v2 down the bottom lane. I say that, but Wicked they're doing this again. We saw this in game 2, I believe it was, from them, where they sent Wicked down to the bottom. See who's actually there at level 1. Also, give yourself a chance of maybe picking up a cheeky kill down in that bottom lane. Yeah,
definitely with Alistar, I mean, they're level 1, and you have Bubble from Nif as well. You can lock down a target for quite a few seconds here. But it seems for now, they just want to check with Wicked. If they don't like what they're seeing, they can always recall and go to the top lane, where Source is already waiting. So they're going to see Reckless now. They know down this bottom lane. It's going to be dueling from Fnatic, and Reckless is going to face check.
Oh, he's going to face check. The bubble catches on him. Have they got the damage? There's the pulverize. Black Shield being used, but it's not enough. And Wicked gets first blood for Alliance.
And that is a very, very good way of winning your duel lane. Get there early first blood, level 1. No experience for Reckless here. He has to run from base now. Nif and Taps are going to hit level 2 way before Reckless can do anything. And then just start, or at least try to zone him out and deny as much farm.
And that means that Wicked's going into this top lane with Doran's ring. I'm not sure why he was trying to pulverize there with the crystalline flask as well. So should have the sustain to get through the constant harassment that Soaz should be throwing his way. Meanwhile, this mid lane, it's a very kind of long-range, safe farming lane from both of them. We've seen that Froggen, incredible Xerath player. We'll see how that one all works out. The junglers as well. Shook, who had a fantastic start to game number 3, actually, but they were unable to turn that one around and get themselves into a winning position. We'll see if he can do a similar thing here today. Zeke's got decent amounts of mobility in that middle lane. The top lane again, though, is where he tried to prey on Soaz last time. Cyanide actually coming up will, in fact, be revealed. There's a ward already down there from Wicked.
Yeah, and Wicked is a pretty safe, tanky target. Peke getting focused on good damage from Froggen early on. We saw Froggen, of course, was pretty low on health himself. He's had to chug through those health pots. See if he can land once again onto Peke. Now that he's 3, he's got his stun. And if it catches on towards Peke, it will do a lot of damage. Bottom lane pairing, It's actually level 3 first for Yellowstar because, of course, he was the one that stood around on his own for a long period of time. Now Reckless hits 3, and it's actually Fnatic that are starting to push the advantage in the bottom lane despite that early loss.
Well, again, they do have a very, very strong lane composition, especially against the Twitch pick from Tap. So while we had a good start for Alliance in the bottom lane, they still knew once Reckless and Yellowstar actually came in, members, they would be able to push it in. So a lot of farm here they have to pick up under the tower while they take some poke damage. If you get a binding in your face, I mean, you're gonna take quite a lot of damage.
Binding does come true, doesn't land though onto Tabs on the backside. That turret though taking a lot of minion damage. The attacks from Reckless will also be coming in. This mid lane still in favor of Xpeke. Froggen just gonna push that one up once again. Shook, meanwhile, on the top of his own jungle. We'll see if he actually decides to try and make his presence felt. Of course, they got first blood in this top lane in that last game where Soaz was so far away from his own side of the map that he just said, okay, I'm not even going to bother to flash this one. They've got me. Cyanide, though, is waiting for an opportunity in middle. Or not.
Well, thought about it. It's thought that counts. That's what I hear. He's going to back away instead, though. Froggen keeping up well, but it's Peke. Look at the farm he has. Has yet to go back. Now they are both heading off. Chalice probably going to be picked up by both of them as they reach the same gold limit, but with that gold advantage over the minions, it may well give Peke the edge, and he does go and get himself the pink one as well. Peke, Froggen, sorry, cancelled it. Cyno's going to try and sneak in towards this bush and see if he can try and make something from it.
But it's the same deal for Fnatic now as in the last game where they got standard lanes. So once again pick some very, very strong laners who are supposed to win on farm against all the lanes from Melanti, and they're doing a good job. Actually pressuring all the lanes, getting all the farm advantages. And in this mid lane, like Ziggs against Xerath, the thing about it is we saw a moment in the European LCS where teams stopped picking Ziggs and they went Xerath every single game. And simply because most of the mid laners feel like Xerath in the late game, like in the team fights, it is easier to get all your damage off compared to something like a Ziggs. But that's all about the mid laners and what they like to play. We have seen a lot of Ziggs still in the last few weeks. And of course, with two great wave clears in the mid lane, we might be in for a long one.
Ooh, look at this. Not towards Peke. They'll get the slow on him. Should though. Discovered will just launch himself away. He's hit level 6, as has Froggen in that mid. So keep your eyes on any long-range potential fights that may come out from these, because there's bombs and Right the Arcane have a very long-range artillery.
I think Chuck's position there might have just saved a dive from Fnatic onto Alliance. Peke started to walk down. Cyanide was hanging around as well. They seen Peke going down there to maybe throw the Mega Inferno bomb down, and in the end, Peke backed away. Cyanide then left, and that bottom lane remains quiet. Funnily enough, with Tab still having a bit of a CS lead coming in, but again, that'll be all neutralized with the wave pushing their way. And I think this is just Alliance saying, let's push this out as fast as possible. Want to go home and actually spend some of that gold that we got early on after getting the first kill.
And in the quarterfinals where Super Hot Crew played Twitch against Rocket, they actually did this thing where once the bottom lane was in a bad position for them and they couldn't really farm, they would recall with Twitch and go top lane and do like this sneak gank from base. It seems like Tabs is not going to do the same. They want to leave all this farm for Reckless. Again, Fnatic is running a comp where it's going to focus a lot on Reckless being very strong in the late game. He needs to get the farm, he needs to get the kills. Otherwise the comp might end up lacking damage looking towards late game. Not saying Ziggs doesn't scale really well either, but...
Speaking of strength, Wicked in this top lane, falling behind in farm. Of course, he was a little late coming in there. Did get himself first blood, but it is Soaz, of course, the old lane bully Lulu. Still doing a great job despite the small changes. Sure, taking that red buff, we'll see where he goes. Was pivotal in a lot of the early damage, and again evolves his wings at level 6. Sticking to the old career meta now.
He just wants to be able to get early resets, and he wants to be able to gank more effectively, to be honest. He wants to jump in, get a kill in these ganks, and look for these skirmishes instead of just straight up running in for one guy. He's ready to counter gank him Cyanide, goes down to one lane on Elise, and he's there to just pick up multiple kills and win the fight.
Let's be honest, by doing that, by getting those resets in there, can mean the difference to maybe 1 kill to 3 kills, and then you can really start snowballing forward. Froggen's just been back and picked up the workings of that Athene's Unholy Grail. The Phoenix Codex in there. Actually, nothing for Peke on the Phoenix Codex side, so I'm guessing he's got a bit of gold in his pocket. Alliance, meanwhile, have started off Dragon, but I think they might be pulled away from it. I mean, they are level 6 here, so not exactly super low level at this stage. And there is a Dragon going to be picked up. The smite from Shook comes out solid, as it has been this entire best of 5. Early Dragon control for Alliance.
Yeah, that was a little bit too easy to just walk in and take the Dragon. I mean, Sander was in the top side. That was the reason they started the whole Dragon here, but their reaction from Fnatic, they didn't move in time to try and push them away, and at the end up, just by the fact Sander showed himself in the top lane, instantly they lost the Dragon. And yeah, as you said, every single game, Alliance gets the first Dragon.
And it showed the control, because Wicked was, what, halfway down the river and just turned around and went back. He's like, nope. You can see Cyanide is up here. They saw him vision, so it's like, well, this is a safe Dragon. We got it secured. Wicked just toying with Soaz, headbutting them away. Not going for the combo, just the straight headbutt. This mid lane battle. Yet to see too much aggression there, as Peke will get a little explosions. Luckily kept backing away. Froggen bullies him out of lane. Froggen, of course, on Xerath wasn't too successful. It was the one game they lost, I believe, against SK where he picked it. Didn't work out too well. Of course, it was a fairly immobile target. I believe that was against an Ahri. Bottom lane, 3 members of Fnatic pushing in. Froggen is making the move downriver.
What's he going to be able to pull off? Nothing.
Nothing. It's like,
coming.
yeah, no.
I mean, if you look at the bottom side of the map there, it's all blue wards. Fnatic have complete vision, and there is the Wicked going super aggressive with the flash. He's going to knock Soaz back. The wild growth was already used. Soaz now, with that, decides to actually turn around the damage. He needs to be careful, though, because Shook's there.
Oh, stealth.
Oh, it is. He pressed his ultimate to get in, but didn't actually able to pull that one off. There's the ulti coming out. Froggen really giving Peke a hard time in mid.
Froggen, after he got a few levels, went back to base. Got his chalice. He's just been dominating the mid lane, to be honest. Constantly pushing his Peke away. Down his bottom lane. Shook showed to the top side. The Sander had already walked down to this bottom lane, like we often see with these Elise, and just pushing down the tower. So Fnatic, while they did lose the Dragon, picked up this bot lane tower instead, and have actually been dominating the side lanes. And this top tower is always taking some damage as well, because Source just keeps pushing it into the tower.
Got to be careful though. Look at the river. Cyanide moving up behind him. But as soon as he sweeps out that bush, he spots a ward and gives a little bit of coverage. And Froggen, it's a little poke on him, doesn't quite land it. It's going to back away. Top lane, Wicked, building up towards that Trinity Force once again. A little delayed in his build. So as this time around, he's going to go Athenes as opposed to Morel Nomicon. He's been built in a previous matchup. Doesn't really need that one. Trinity Force well underway by Reckless. Meanwhile, of course, Tabs, he's going to go towards that Bladed Rune King. He's going to have to try to find those picks, but they're going to be tricky picks. Fnatic, that is their game, finding picks. They are well aware of the dangers of being caught out of position. And speaking of that, Yellowstar's gone pretty deep here.
Let's clear out that ward. Actually lands a nice little bind. He gets bubbled, but already had his shield on and looking, because Shook was actually coming around the back, and the pink ward survives. Alliance get rid of the ward there. The Yellow Star stuck down. But look at this, 3 men now sat inside of the tri-bush. Wobble a little bit late, and Yellow Star could just walk away from that. Just getting that vision of all 3 men. Still needs to be a little cautious here. He's trying his best to get wards down in there, but keep clearing them out quickly.
So this is a move Fnatic has done a lot in the regular season, where as soon as a bot tower is gone, if they won the lane, they send Reckless top instantly just to push down the next tower. But the Alliance were ready and already sent Nif and Shook up there to defend it. So smart reaction. Still, I mean, they're not going to deny any farm from Reckless here.
Continuing to poke Peke down with his Xerath. Working well for him so far, but still a slow opening to the game. Just a 500 gold differential, the 1 kill and Dragon in Alliance's favour. And of course the tower for Fnatic down that bottom wave. Clearly showing signs of nerves from both teams, honestly. Alliance were, I think, as you mentioned, way too overconfident going into that 3rd and final matchup. Some of their plays they were making, while pretty wild. Right there came in, fired off, trying to get the blue steal. This is something I've actually discussed with Froggen as well. You know, obviously with the Lux laser, with the rockets, anything basically long range. It's so, well, you generally know the timers, so just use your ulti, try it, test it, and sometimes it works.
Yeah, I mean, if you do steal it away from the enemy mid lane, you get a huge advantage in the mid lane, because you can just give your own blue buff to your jungler, he can farm faster, and you can control the mid lane, so it's a big deal if you actually manage to steal it. especially because you didn't invest anything other than ult. It's not like you warded up and you had 4 members running in who lost farm while you did it. You just randomly steal it from the mid lane. I'm not sure if he was trying to hit expected though. He was a bit out of range from the blue buff.
There's the vote coming in, 61 to 39%. Fnatic gaining some momentum in the vote at least after that Game 3 victory. Still 2-1 behind, so still Alliance on match point, EU LCS point, and well, could be the first team here to actually win a full EU LCS split after Fnatic won our last 3. And often came back in finals as well. It's not like they were at the top of the regular split table coming into them. In fact, I believe we're in 2nd position in pretty much all of them.
I believe I read on Reddit, thank you to that guy who posted it, that...
No,
didn't work.
Nowhere near.
Anyway, so apparently, it turns out the Fnatic has been number 2 in every single split, and the team was number 1. They've always have lost 3 games, only won once, and then they faced them in the final anyway, and actually ended up winning the split. So same deal here. They've lost 3 games to Alliance in the regular season. If they do manage to come back and win it, it sticks to the same.
Number 2 alongside 5 other teams in the 2000s.
Still number 2.
It is still number 2.
And that is a European
tiebreaker is what worked out for them in that favor.
Yes.
That's what put them there. Froggen, a little low on hit points and delicately going into the bush there. The rest of Alliance are going to rotate and cover him off as Fnatic gain themselves positional advantage in that river. They are spotted out by that wood living artillery just being used by Reckless to scout out. Bottom wave will push in Fnatic's favor. Alliance try to move in. Remember, it was Alliance that got the first dragon. They seemingly want to protect this one. They're going to jump on towards Peke, force him away. That's the flash burn by the mid laner. That could be important. Remember, Mega Inferno Bomb is still not available either. Meanwhile, the top lane, it's Soaz that will take it.
This could be really interesting now because with that dragon, we are seeing a recall from Soaz and a recall from Wicked. We just about got them framed into the shot there, both of them. Recalling home, we'll be able to heal up, we'll be able to buy up, and then TP down. The Phage was just finished off for Wicked. Themes and a blasting wand coming out for Soaz. There's Mega Inferno Bomb. Actually, will catch on to Froggen. Meanwhile, Binding's coming in. Here comes the Wicked TP into the Dragon Pit. Peke going to get isolated on the backside. Big blast there from Froggen, who will flash into it. Can they lock him down? More damage coming in. Shook will flash. It's Froggen that gets that kill. Meanwhile, down on the Baron side, they manage to get the double knock-up on Soaz. Big shield. Ultimate out of Wicked. He's going to go low. A delayed wild growth there, and Wicked is going to keep going. Shot coming in now from the side. Will they be able to finish it? Exhaust goes onto him. They turn around. Shot's going to go low, but Froggen blasted through. That's going to be a double, a triple there from the top side, and a whitewash fight for Alliance.
And Fnatic here, they were split up coming into the fight here. 4 members was down the bottom side, and then expecting he walked in all alone. Froggen saw it, instantly went for him, flashed him with the E from Nifia to get the slow, just kept chasing him, killed him, and then rejoined the fight here. Picked up 2 more kills. Let's see it again. Notice our new minimap. Source is teleporting down on the bottom side with the rest of the members from Fnatic. 1 guy's left alone, that is Xpeke. He's gonna be the guy. They chase him in, they kill him. Nothing else is really going on here. Wicked is staying in here with Nif, and that's about it. Good tidal wave coming, good knock-up by Wicked, and now they chase it in. More fighting in the mid lane.
Back in the mid lane, Froggen caught out this time. He's taken low. Peke fancies it. Mega Inferno Bomb's already been used though, so this chase will get covered off. Taps blocked out. Oh, he may get blown in towards him. Have they got the damage to finish him off? They have!
He had flash.
Peke gets the kill. He did have flash. He felt he was safe there, but clearly not.
This might actually end up, never mind. Froggen is there with the wave there, so should be able to hold it off. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I think Tab said, okay, I'll block the dart binding so that they don't actually take Froggen. He's half at HP already. Froggen's far too low for this one. And that is the mid-tower Shook waiting here at the side. Might get a bit of a rude awakening. Actually, doesn't see the ward come on top of him. Will react to it finally and move away. So, looking at those kills then, 3 of them going over onto Froggen. That gives him a really nice boost at this stage. We can see needlessly large drop, blasting one. In fact, it's a death cap now finish. He was just waiting for the final gold and boots as well. So he's really going to start to sting. If you look at the AD carry, his first item done on both sides of the table. Tabs 0-1-3. Blade of the Ruin King. That's where he can pull off some moves.
And that counterplay was vital. Peke, of course, died very early on at the start of that fight, which is why he was able to respawn, get back to that mid lane, get that Mega Inferno bomb. Alliance were trying to get a little bit too greedy. They took the dragon, they were trying to force out that mid lane turret. It backfired on them, and actually, because that mid lane turret went down for Fnatic's favor, it did keep them within gold stretching distance. Of course, only a 500 gold differential right now. Big item starting to be completed though. Froggen, you can see, he got that Rabadon's death cap because of that triple kill he picked up. Peke, meanwhile, is still chasing. Look at this down the bottom. Wicked caught out by the position. This time the Soul Shackles will not go off, but it does force the flash away from the top lane.
Meanwhile, up in the top lane, you see Taps is waiting around and trying to pick. Might be Nif dying.
Well, he's dead. That's a lot of bursts coming out. So as in Cyanide between them, able to finish off Nif, and not a lot you can do about that. Cocoon coming straight through, and you're just dead. Yeah. Not a lot to do. Not a lot to say.
Outsmarted by Fnatic, to be honest. They were expecting Taps to be waiting up in this top lane, and then once Nif joined in, well, they just sat back in the bush and said, okay, now it's our turn to catch you out of position, end up getting a kill.
Oh, it was close as well. We saw the cow come around the corner, and Dark Binding comes his way, and Blue Buff now spawned in, so that should be going over to Froggen. Just gonna take them out.
Froggen manages to pick up the blue. Top lane, actually. Pressure still on there. Soaz and Cyanide didn't back away easily. Tabs just had to burn rat-a-tat-tat there to keep them off that tower. So ultimate down for Tabs for now. Not going to worry too much. That cooldown's fairly quick, and it will be out once again before the next team fight. What will that next team fight be? That's the question. 20 minutes gone in this game, and Fnatic, while they are 4-1 behind, are certainly not playing passively.
No, and it's very hard for Alliance at the moment to find a play because they've been looking for the picks, especially for Taps here. That was countered by Fnatic, and they can't really go just group and siege up on a tower. First of all, there's a lot of wave there for both X-Pick and Soaz, and at the same time, Twitch is not an AD carry used to siege towers. He's way too immobile. It's too easy to just kill him or engage on him under the tower here. So Alliance is actually forced to try and find some picks. Hasn't worked out yet for Taps on this top lane. He had to use the ulti to actually defend his own tower.
A lot of wave clear though there. He's going to have that death cap soon. Wicked does have his Trinity Force. We'll see what he can actually do in this one. Wicked's had some real...
Oh, look at this teleport mid.
Yeah, TP's coming in, but I'm not sure what they're going to be able to get from him. We see the tidal wave literally hit all 5 men there. No Braum to block it out this time, and Nif is able to walk away. Shook might not be so lucky though. He's actually off into no man's land, going to ulti up and try to escape it. Oh, nice little scrying orb though. So Reckless knows where he is. All he needs to do here is hit one of his ulti charges.
Where is he going?
Shook is going to have to try and... There's no damage come out from Cyanide just yet, as far as I'm aware. Soaz is going to head him off, though. And hello, there we go. Damage coming in. Wild Growth will be used to get the Nook up and the Munchkin. Then the... Wow! Gets away. No, coming in. It's too late. He's got out.
He's safe.
Ridiculous.
Oh, that was... quite a run there from Shook.
They might get the tower from it as well. Wicked goes in, catches on towards Soaz, forces them away, and the rest of Alliance respond. They have left themselves open, though, you can see, in the mid lane. Peke pushing on the waves, Reckless down the bottom lane as well. So they're going to have to react to this one because Reckless is a serious threat on that bottom inner turret. The whole of Alliance will back away, apart from Tabs, who tries to stick around. So as his Wild Growth is down, but he doesn't fancy it. Peke's going to get a lot of free damage on this turret.
Yeah, just been pushing up both the bottom lane and the mid lane, getting them fairly low. Won't be able to kill it. Alliance is back now to defend. I actually liked the teleport play before from Soaz because they had a very deep ward. You see they're actually pinging on Taps now in his own jungle. They had a ward to spot him when he started stealthing up towards the top lane. So they knew he wasn't going to be in mid lane. Same goes for Wicked. And therefore instant teleport from Soaz to try and create a pick. End up... Well, it didn't work for them because they've had a very nice tidal wave. And now Dragon, Fnatic set it up, Alliance is there, and they want to try and fight.
Oh, it's going to go low. Can they steal it? They do! Alliance managed to steal it. Nicely done there from Shook. They might even won the fight here. It forces the flash from Cyanide over the back of the pit. And that is exactly what Fnatic didn't need at this stage of the game.
Did manage to disengage though, so didn't have to get in a bad team fight. They were split up again. And that's why we love Ziggs.
Love or hate,
yeah,
it works nonetheless. That mid lane turret, though, only needs a little Tabs goes back up to the top. He's going to get himself another wave of minions, working towards that Ghost Blade. Wicked actually being a little bit more effective in this game. It's clearing out the bottom. Fnatic, they need to start maybe grouping up, and Alliance are slowly worming their way into control. The Reckless caught out with an Aqua Prison. The stun comes out. Froggen hasn't got the mana though to follow on.
Someone was in looking at the items already. Didn't even move. Let's stand for a few seconds, but they probably want to wait for play to be completed for Reckless before Fnatic is looking to group up if they want to start going down and set up a siege. They don't really have too much of a reason just yet because they've been farming the lanes. They've been able to avoid dying to Tab. He's not been able to get a single gank off on this Twitch here. So just been sitting and farming and already got 2 lanes fairly low. And the Alliance now making the moves, but Wicked is not there just yet.
Yeah.
And that's a Lulu.
Got the SOAS though. The SOAS or the Lulu. Who can just wipe out that wave straight away. Well, Alliance sticking around for this one. The cow coming down as well. It actually has TP available, so he could just push this mid lane out, try and take that one with Ziggs actually headed in there. I think they might be able to have that mid tower away. You know, Wicked is already on top of it. Fnatic should be thinking about defending their inner turret in that middle lane and the inner turret in this top lane as well. The problem that they have is that SOAS doesn't have TP available, so if he goes over there, he's just as able to join in as Peke is really, which is not able whatsoever. There is Shook getting a little bit close for comfort. Yellow Star stepping forward here. Can he land a binding onto anyone? No, not quite got the range.
Yeah, almost though. Very tight. Ghostblade now completed by Tabs. He heads on down towards that bottom wave. Fnatic continue to hold, and the waves are crashing back and forth as Alliance try to force something out of Fnatic. But again, you saw it there. They're not getting picked off. They're sticking together. They are forming as one. And it is not finding anything for this assassin. So I feel for Tabs to actually start getting some kills on the board, it's simply going to be down to positional play when those team fights come around, when the Dragon fight happens, when the Baron fight inevitably will happen. But they've got to be careful of this man, who has, so far, a stronger record in this grand final. Reckless, more kills, of course, that's padded out by the fact he just had an incredible last match. As of yet, he is ahead of Tabs. MVP of the season, if you missed it earlier on. Nif caught out in trouble, he goes down. Cyanide actually gets the kill. We talked about picks. Fnatic are the team that make the picks. They always find something to happen. And it's Alliance that are again on the back foot.
But that was Nif going in all alone into the jungle of Fnatic. The only one nearby was Froggen sitting in the mid lane, so in case Fnatic was there with just 1 or 2 members, Nif would die pretty much no matter what. So, over-aggressive play again, overconfident maybe, just Nif moving in all alone, feeling he can play some wards. They caught out of position by Fnatic, and once again now, Fnatic buys even more time where Tabs is not able to pick anyone off because they now have numbers advantage and they're the ones pushing up the lanes.
Got 2 men in the bottom, 3 in the middle, and Reckless is going to get some free shots off here. Tabs actually stepping forward. They're going to be joining in there with the ultimate coming out of Froggen. Tabs able to kill off Cyanide. Can they chase through for any more? Reckless actually flashed away. And Yellow Star, he's going to be going down from this. The cow's on top of Reckless. Reset for Shook, and that's 3 for nothing here for Alliance.
So they did buy a little bit of time, but then we saw a beautiful setup by Alliance here. Ulti come in from Froggen, Tabs at the same time, pops his ulti here. 3 members have to run away just from the Twitch and the ulti from Froggen coming in. Then we see, top of your screen to your left, Kha'Zix come in, flashes a binding, gets a kill. We can already teleport in behind. There's a ward down in the lane. 3 kills picked up by Alliance here. Such a nice setup here. Fnatic suddenly felt confident because they just picked up a kill on him, and instantly Twitch and Xerath together with the ultis.
And a turret to the good for Alliance. That squares things up. All of the outer turrets now down for both teams. So vision suddenly becomes key for everyone involved. Dragon up in just inside a minute. Froggen up on this top lane. He's just going to shove out the wave and make his way down the river along with the rest of the team. They're all conga lining towards that river by the Dragon.
What are they going to be able to do here? Nif again going forward. Needs to be wary. He's already been caught out once. The fact that they can just chain that CC together and then throw basically the burst of Ziggs at him. He's the fish. He's pretty squishy still at this stage. Has got Mikhail's Crucible now, so can at least get rid of one of those elements of CC. Shook gonna dive forward. Who are they gonna go for? Soak pops his Wild Growth, and it looks like Alliance might just try and back off. Reckless has come in to do good damage there. It's Soaz again shields himself up to stay alive, and they force Alliance back.
Soaz very low from that fight. He's going to have to back away from this one. Go back to Fountain. Dragon's going to be up in 4 seconds' time. Cyanide repels away. Right, the Arcane's going to pop him low, so now the jungler is in risk if he were to jump in. Pink ward caught out. Yellow Star taking damage. Teleport comes back out from Soaz. He's going to join back into this fight, but the Dragon's already very low. Froggen keeps them at bay. Now they're going to turn around. Rat-a-tat-tat still available as Tabs stealths himself up, scrying Orviews. They're going to try and pin out Shook in the pit. Instead, they will back away, and Alliance look like to get
Fnatic
free.
Push the mid lane here.
They could indeed push towards that inner turret.
They are going to do it, man. You just see Alliance here. They have to just run around. Twitch as well in the bottom lane. It's going to be a tower for Fnatic.
Trying to move around the backside here. Wicked could be big in this scenario. Shook will loop the whole way around. Froggen moves in. The turret is going to go down. Was already low from XPK's solo push earlier on. And in terms of turrets, that leaves Fnatic now 4-3 up, but still a good 5,000 gold behind Alliance. And Alliance looking like they're going to do a bit of a counter push here straight down mid.
They want to steal the blue. They knew it's up in time. Can they get across there? He's going to see a smite fight. Shook comes across. It's Cyanide that has to smite it away. Now he gets slowed down. It don't look like they're going to follow through, but now Baron smite.
Source is in the bot lane.
Actually, it wasn't a smite by Cyanide. They simply managed to get it instead of Peke. But they're going Baron. Like you say, Soaz. Teleport was used on that Dragon fight. This Baron could be theirs.
It's gone. I mean, this is Alliance Baron. They see Source down this bottom lane. Yes, he's going to get a tower. He had no teleport. Baron picked up by Alliance here.
Traded, so yeah, traded for an inner turret there. Not what they're going to want. And what are they going to do here? Because Soaz now has to back away from that one. As my voice disappears. It's been a long week. And it's the final game. So, well, it's the 4th game of a best of 5. I'm not calling it the final game just yet. But Fnatic falling behind. And there's going to be good amounts of gold to spend there after that Baron, which gives Alliance just that extra spike. If you look down the AD carries, the Ghost Blade, of course, added in now. BF Sword for Tabs, for Froggen, Void Staff. He's got a bit of health in there as well now. Looks like he might end up going straight in and getting himself the Crystal Scepter. Add some slows into his more slows and stuns. That'd be interesting.
This is one of the first times I actually see Ziggs building Will of the Ancients to get some spell wham, but it must be simply to try and trying to compete the sustain from Alistar and Nami on the side of Alliance, and then with all the poke coming in from Froggen, Peke felt like he probably needed the spell wham.
Peke stunned up, not going to get followed through, but that tower's almost gone. The bound up Alliance will keep on motoring through. Peke with low hit points may well be forced back to the fountain here, and that's going to cause a problem because he is the main wave clear for Alliance. He throws out the waves, burns out every little bit of mana. Wicked takes a lot of damage though. That will get healed up. Peke again poked down. Froggen with that ultimate ready does not choose to quick fire on towards him. They're just going to force him back. He gets back to fountain and they should be safe. There's no other wave pushing for Alliance here, so they haven't got any distractions to use. Instead, Shook's going to get focused down. Darkbind and a Cocoon follow through, but they keep the siege going. Shook, he's taking too much damage here.
Oh, going for Reckless with the ultimate. One more. Doesn't quite land onto him, but that might have forced him away from the turret far enough. Shut down to half HP. Wicked kind of running around, taking up. There comes a bomb out of Peke, and I think Alliance are done for now. They need to back away to get the regen and push these other lanes in so they've got options to move around.
They have so much heal. I mean, you have Alistar, you have Nami, you have the Baron buff as well. You can stay, you can keep poking. This is exactly why the Zeref pick was so good for Froggen, because Fnatic, they don't have any hard engage.
Oh!
And Froggen dips there and pokes him. Now you got a kill.
Soaz finally finds the kill. Froggen finds the kill. There's the roll-in wave coming through. Peke has to get out of the way of it. Inhibitor now down. It's going to be forced out. Alliance going to keep on pushing through. Shook's going to get picked up. Reckless gets the kill. Wicked comes on through, forces him away. Alliance have to back away here. They can't get the inhibitor. It's too risky.
So the only way Fnatic can kill anyone is if they land a binding or land a cocoon, and then they can go in here. They end up killing Shook, defended the inhibitor. But Froggen is just sitting in the back, and he just keeps poking you over and over and over. Same happened at the Dragon just before here. Froggen did the same. He poked his Pekka low, was the source low. He was back at base, and it's all about Froggen at this point here. Fnatic can't get to him.
I think he's going to get a load of free farm down bottom though and push that wave all the way back. Something that was causing Alliance maybe a couple of issues there, that they had no other lane to really move to once Fnatic was setting up the defense, and also argue that they didn't maybe even need another lane to move to with that constant deep poke from Froggen. And there's going to be a blue buff coming over, and that only makes it incredibly harder now for Fnatic to hold on. He's got elixirs running here as well. His Crystal Scepter is now done. And look at that, throwing the bomb up the lane early on to get rid of the wave as soon as possible.
If Alliance actually had an AD carry who could poke as well, then they would have an insane siege comp here. All they have to do is just sit back, use the fact they have double heal, they have Sugar Volzy's W, so he's poking as well. And then of course you have Froggen, who is so strong at this point. He's even building a Rylai's Scepter now. Getting the HP, getting their AP as well, and now if you just land the first ability, you're going to be slowed. It's easier to land this next one and next one and next one, and then you die.
Well, Soaz is in the top lane. There's the teleport coming in. Froggen taking some damage here, but again, simply comes in, holds the wave. Remember, Baron buff was worn out. Dark Binding doesn't land on Shook. Forced away, Mines keeping Nif clear, but Fnatic, this is a risky defensive play they're going to make here. And again, Peke low on hit points, gets chipped away. And that's a tower gone. Alliance take this one for free.
Yeah, again and again. So every time Alliance lands on poke, they force Fnatic back in, then Taps can move in and actually hit the tower. So it's working out. Baron buff is gone now. You can't just wait for the next one and set it up and use all the gold they've just earned here from the Baron buff and the Dragon they just picked up. Get the Baron and do the exact same again, because Fnatic have no way of engaging.
1600 gold for Wicked, 1400 let's call it for Taps to go back and spend 1000 in the mid lane. Not far away for Shook either. Oh, here comes the ult from Froggen, and not able to get it. Peke was there, he takes the last hit from Froggen's ulti.
Well, he knows that he's now there, and he knows he's now half hit points, so he knows that Peke is going to have to back away. Fnatic, risky if they try and set up some sort of assault in that bush. Instead, Alliance looking to group and shove down that mid lane. It's just over a minute for the Baron to come up, and they will go straight down that mid. Exposed inhibitor. Peke clears the way, forces that out. So top and bottom, not pushing in Alliance's favor. Mid lane is the only one that they could take, but it is not their focus target. Red buff for Tabs. Baron coming up, all of the wards get in place.
So just as we talked about before here, Alliance can now set up for the next Baron. If they do manage to pick it up, the rest of Fnatic's base will most likely die, unless they manage to do what they just did here, land a binding, and then go in and try and burst down a target. You have a lot of damage from the Ziggs, and of course Reckless, if he does get the time, will be able to kill someone. But Wicked is going to be the guy in his face, and he's not going to go down easy.
Well, they knew where Reckless was. Shook tried to catch him out off the side there. He stood on top of wall taking that red buff. Yellow Star again tries to land the binding, like you said. Taps not with the team right now. He's going to come across. He's pushed that top wave. That's going to be slowly but surely going in Alliance's favor as they keep on grinding towards that. Let's see if Froggen can start picking off a target.
Well, they do move into that one. Tabs already getting a good few hits off there. Seem to be worried about sticking around for too long. If that Dark Binding, the cocoon comes in, it's going to force, first of all, the Mikaels to come out and cleanse that off whoever it is, especially if it's one of the more important, squishier targets on the team. Froggen or Shook basically going into this one. A lot of damage coming in. Shook's gone very deep. Ulti from Froggen comes through. There's the tidal wave. It's 3 kills for Alliance. They might not need Baron. They could win it here.
They could well indeed. They managed to take down the inhibitor. Do they fancy sticking around? There's only Peke and Reckless standing, but they have a lot of damage between them. A flash from Froggen forces a flash from Reckless. Ultimate comes out of Wicked. They chase on down to Peke. He's going to tower dive on. Tabs is the one that's taking the damage, but it doesn't matter. The reset comes. The leap goes in, Peke goes down. It's just Reckless, the one man standing for Fnatic to prevent them going out and losing the #1 seed in this title championship. It seems that Alliance are going to take it, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to push on through. The Nexus turrets will fall. Fnatic are dethroned as the champions of Europe. The new kings are Alliance. They will go to the World Championships as the #1 seed. Well, Fnatic, it was a hard-fought battle for them, but they have to congratulate the new champions of Europe. Finally, somebody was able to topple Fnatic, and no longer will 4 championships back-to-back be possible. Alliance, they've been #1 throughout the summer, and ironically, they end 3-1 as well here in this best of 5 in front of a packed crowd at Gamescom. The convention has actually closed. It closed over an hour ago, but the fans stuck around to see this moment.
Amazing scenes here as well. Alliance, the 2014 EU LCS Summer Split champions. They go to Worlds with that #1 seed, looking to represent Europe as far as they possibly can. And who knows, Fnatic, as last year's #1 seed, went all the way to the semi-finals before stumbling. Can Alliance go a step further?
It's a big, big ask, that's for sure. But Froggen, Shook, everybody on that team said it themselves. This team was created to be #1. They are #1. It has worked out. How far can they go at the World Championships? That is the big question.
It is definitely a big question. I mean, when you have a player like Froggen in the mid lane, who is